ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica O'Neill, and I'll be demonstrating how to make a candle. Can you imagine life with no light? It's almost impossible to do because it's a modern convenience that's been available since most of us were born. All you do is flick up a switch and the room goes from dark to bright. You can even clap lamps on. Though many years ago, our ancestors were not as lucky as we were. In 3000 BC, the Egyptians would use wick candles as a source of light. Though the Romans are generally credited with using the wick candle before. What they would do is roll up papyrus and repeatedly dip it in melted tallow and beeswax. The end result would be a wick candle, which they would then use to guide them through their night travels, to light up their home, and in religious ceremonies. Candles evoke similar emotions in everyone. Relaxation, calmness, blissfulness, to name a few. It is our duty to share the simple elegance of candles with everyone, which you will now be able to do with a personal twist once I finish this demonstration. I will now demonstrate to you how to make the candle. So let's begin by going over our supplies. Before we begin the demonstration, you'll want to make sure you have all of your supplies available so that you can successfully complete each step. First, we'll go over the supplies you'll need from your kitchen. You'll need a burner, a single eye, or you can do this on your stove. You'll need a pot, a bowl, and a measuring cup. To make the candle, you will need essential oils for smell, a wick, 1 pound of wax, and a container to pour your wax into once you're ready to make the candle. Then you'll need a crayon to add color. Then a few miscellaneous items you'll need from around your house are some oven mitts and a clothespin and some scissors. So now that we've gone over the supplies that you'll need, let's begin our demonstration. What you'll do first is fill your pot halfway with boiling water. You'll bring this water to a low boil. You do not want to bring it to a rolling boil, or you risk the water splashing into the wax and compromising your candle. You would then set the bowl inside of the pot like a double boiler so it can melt the wax. Since this process takes a little while, I've already melted my wax, so it's ready to go. So what you would now do is add in the chopped up pieces of crayon to add the color, and you'll let this melt. I'm just going to sprinkle these in here. And then you would add your essential oils. You can use as much or as little essential oils as you want. The more oil you use, the stronger your candle will be. So I'm just going to dump this into here. And we'll let the crayons finish melting. While they melt, we'll go over the container. For your container, you can use anything that you would like. I've chosen to use a mason jar. And to prepare it, what you would do is take this metal end of the wick and you would dip it in this wax, and then you would align it in the center of your container. I've already done this step because it's a little tricky and complicated to do as a beginner, so to save time, I've already done that. You would then take your clothespin and you clip the wick and lay it to the side. What you're trying to do is center your wick for when you pour the wax into the candle. And you just lay it to the side and it's ready to go. So now you need to make sure that your container is in a spot where it's safe to stay for at least 3 hours. Once you pour your wax, you do not want to move your candle, or you could cause cracks in the wax to form. So what you'll do now is put your oven mitts on, and you'll pick up your, let's see, these crayons don't seem to have mixed well, so I'm going to stir them with my scissors a little bit to mix the color around. Okay. So now I'm going to take the wax and pour it into the measuring cup. Make sure you do not use a plastic measuring cup, or else you may risk melting it. So now pour that in there. Set the bowl back in the pot. Got that a little full. And I'll now pour this into the container. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. That was a little hard to pour with my oven mitts, as you can see. Okay, and I'm just going to realign this wick again because it's moved a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. So since that takes at least 3 hours to harden, I've already created a candle for demonstration. What you would do after the wax solidifies is you would trim the wick. So to do that, you just grab the wick and you just trim it to your preferred length with a pair of scissors. That's complete. And now there's the wick and the candle, and it's officially complete and ready to burn.